really no reason to share. Marcia's here to share on her part, so. Okay, roll call, Barry.
Council President Cindy Ledoux.
Here.
Council Vice President Todd Frye.
Present.
Councilperson Sam Levine.
Present.
Councilperson Sunny Sailor Gordon.
Here.
Councilperson Michael Dice.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, then we have the approval of the previous meeting minutes from September 8th.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from September 8th.
I second the motion.
A motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then the approval of the financial statement for September 30th.
I make a motion that we approve the financial statement for the month of September.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. The approval of the invoices.
I'll make a motion to approve the invoices for 9/30/2025.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approval of the bank statements.
I make a motion to approve the bank statements for the month of September.
I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approval of payroll warrants.
I make a motion to approve the payroll warrants for the month of September.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Okay, there's nobody in the audience, so we'll skip that part. John?
In addition to the daily test of the wastewater treatment on the 9th, meters was read on the 11th, water samples was taken to Monticello on the 4th. We had some water leaks that we had to call AccuDig in on. That was on the 25th. We had some sewers that we worked on the 26th. Yard waste mowing 2nd through the 4th, 8th through the 11th, 15th through the 18th, 11th through the 25th, and 29th.
Okay, we're gonna come back to Nick. Parks, Marcia?
Park board meeting was last Tuesday evening. We are in the process of collecting bids for a roof on this building. We're not sure yet if it's a complete or a repair. We're not sure what can be done. We've got one bid, we've got two more coming in, one being worked on. We're also looking at the furnace. We've asked Brad Widener from Benchmark, and he will be in to give us some, maybe even just a good cleaning, we don't know yet. Also looking at the parking lot resurfacing, that's on the list of things that are being done. A couple things I do want to mention that in the spring, we're going to be putting out a call to have somebody adopt some of the flower beds around here to weed and to make look more attractive. And the big thing that's coming is Mr. Garrett Broyles is working on the disc golf. He's clearing spaces now. We've got a couple of trees that do need to come down. And got a good plan. We toured it today, a little bit. And the park board is also looking at an April ribbon cutting ceremony for the disc golf. That was not Sunny's or my idea. We'll get to whose idea it was. We're right now talking about things like, besides the ribbon cutting, some food trucks, some music. We've got, I think we have a band lined up who's willing to perform for no fee. But we're looking at a way to kind of boost some money making for the playground equipment.
Do we have all the donors for the disc golf?
What?
Do we have all the donors for all the?
We have, 2 disc golf holes left, right?
On the 1 through 9.
We do have the money for that, though. We're taking it from, there's money designated from Cass County for playground equipment. There's some for disc golf, and there's some that was just donated and not, so we will borrow some from that. Any other questions?
Exciting stuff for
I
a
thought myself, but I didn't at the right
There
time.
was something else. Oh, I think it was in Bradley's.
I will
park.
add,
Thank you, Marcia.
I will add to that, the one company that, we had, get up on the roof, that question whether it would even support a snow road, so,
The entire roof or just?
no, just this one section.
Oh, we know of that, yes.
So.
Yeah.
Just something to food for thought,
Sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Yes.
whether you do a spot repair or.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Planning, Michael?
All we had was one permit for a shed, and that was it.
You know what's going on with the Fort Dock building, what is that? Moving forward on that at all?
You know what, no one's been in and discussed anything about that, don't know about.
They started
state permits,
demolition, just,
And then they just stopped, so.
I've noticed comments on social media, people complaining that there's not ribbon around or yellow. Caution, yeah. Hey, dang word. Hey.
No, we just kinda left that where it was because of the, civil suit that's going on, the civil fight that's going on, but they was taking, the joists and the roof off of it, and
Yeah,
saying I
so-
know it's collapsed, and.
So it did collapse, it wasn't.
I don't know if it's collapsed or if they tore it down, I've not heard anything, probably won't know nothing until Wednesday when I start asking questions.
So Michael, one of the complaints on Facebook, so I asked the people at the county, because, they were talking about the county law, and so I said something to Erin and asked her, and she said, well, first of all, we're not county, which is true, so that would have applied to us anyway, but she said, really, the county doesn't have anything. Her only question would have been, did they have the demolition permits, but she said that wouldn't have probably come from us.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know, who's.
So I'll have better answers when I go to the meeting.
So, I don't even know who you can check on that with, so. Okay, we don't have BCA. ADA, we are meeting with KC on Thursday with some things that we need to do to update. And then, aviation, I don't think, John, do you know anything from them? Okay. Okay. All right, so we're ready for new business. The ordinance to vacate the alley between the fire station plots and the lot east of town. We're gonna let Brad update us on that because we're not quite there with it.
Yeah, thank you. We are close on that. I have a petition to vacate. I have a notice that I'll have Barry send out. I have an ordinance prepared. I'm just waiting on some legal description information just to kind of plug into the 3 documents I have. Cindy has a copy of those that are currently in draft without the description. Should be able to get moving on this here pretty quickly, so we're very close.
Cool.
So you want to table it?
Yes, I'm going to, I would say we should go and have it. I think the timeline is going to be, we have to have a public meeting on the issue of notice. So you're going to probably be looking at 2 meetings before you get a special, you really want it that quickly, but 2 meetings to have it completed. Maybe one public meeting on the notice and the ordinance, and then the second meeting is to pass the ordinance.
Okay.
So, 60 days should be able to get that. Or sooner if you have a special session for this, diary.
No, I don't think it's anything on a dire need on their part. They're just doing some updating on their properties. They've torn down a building and just trying to make sure they have things lined up, so. I don't think there is. Okay, so, do we need action to table that?
I just make a motion.
Okay, so we need a motion to table that ordinance.
I make a motion to table the ordinance to vacate the alley between the fire station and the lot to the east of the fire station.
I second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the status of the Misfits towing contract, again, Brad?
Circulated a draft contract, so Michael had a contract prepared. I ran through that pretty thoroughly and we circulated to all the council members. It's kind of a little cleaned up version of the contract. I had some questions, I asked for some feedback, especially on paragraph 12. I wasn't sure what was intended by the paragraph, so I think we're very, very close to having that ready to go. I think we've already voted to take action and move forward with it. So as soon as we can get this contract hammered out, I think we're ready to go. So some feedback would be helpful. I've heard from a couple of you here just very recently, but everyone want to chime in. It could be done very fast.
Okay, so,
Oh, and I guess just so everyone's clear on what you see in front of you, there is a bright yellow essentially version, which is where I was kind of indicating where I had made, I had taken the original and just kind of beefed up the paragraphs. And so if it's yellow, it's something that I've messed around with a little bit, made some changes to. If there's no yellow, it's probably exactly as it was. And then if you look at my contract, page 2, paragraph 12, it talks about any, and I'm sure the word was supposed to be discipline actions. I just am not exactly sure what we're trying to accomplish there. So, like I said, just a quick, some responses to the email that was sent out directly to me will help get me through that and we can be done with it.
Barry, could I make a request? The first email that I got from Brad had the yellow on it, but what you sent to us to do when you sent the two to compare, did not have the yellow highlighted. Could you resend that? And send the one that has what shows his corrections?
Yeah.
What you have printed for him here.
Oh, am I the one that has this right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And I don't need, actually, I have it.
You do, I'll take it back and
Yeah, I appreciate
do
that.
a redo.
Okay, so,
I chose.
And if you need me to send it to me, I'll do that.
well, and I can re-forward it too.
Okay.
I'm
sorry, I
I
thought everyone could see it and I was talking about it. So.
It's fine. So we probably need a motion to table that as well, right?
I mean, if we can just add it to old business, I mean, tabling is fine. We've already, I think we've already voted to move forward with it. So once we come upon something everyone's ready to sign, we just get it signed without having to deal with it again. But tabling is fine.
Okay. So which is best, tabling or just adding it to old business?
I think it will do the same thing. If we table it, we'll do old business, isn't it, Barry?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can just table it and we'll do old business.
Okay, so we need a motion to table that.
I make a motion to table the status of the Misfits towing contract.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion, a second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Who,
Okay.
Who seconded it?
Todd. The status of the traffic warning signage, John, I know we were reaching out to NDOT, have we heard anything?
No, I've got to get a hold of the maintenance department now, so
Okay,
hopefully we'll get an answer here soon.
okay.
What's the issue? We don't have no signage on that side? What's the issue?
We've had signage up in there, in our rights of way before, and they have taken them down. I just want to make sure that they're going to give us clearance to put them on.
We can't put that on town easements, around the corner off the highway on town easements.
We've had them up before, and, well, we've had other signage up, but
But if it's on town easements, they can't touch them.
they have taken them down before.
They will tell you if it's, because there was something that we had up not too long ago. And it was, as long as it was on their highway, they governed.
They declined the engine braking.
Yeah, that was it, yeah.
And this is for the next.
I don't have an emergency.
I know that Frostburg office comes back on some of these tickets, so that's why I was asking.
So. Okay. Okay, so Barry, the adjusting of the payroll fund to credit the utility fund balance per the SBOA.
Yeah, it's just moving it from one account to two others. The system, what that represents, and it's been that way for, I'm gonna say almost a decade, since when payroll is processed, the Keystone system moves the 20% that the employees pay on the benefits, insurance and such, moves it into that account, okay? State board says, yeah, this is just something we found and we're looking into, so we're just taking it, in our case, and they agree, meaning state board, that we will move it into 50-50 for the audit period, 2023 and 24, into water and wastewater, okay? And then they don't want me to, they're just recommending that I don't clear it out, because I was going to clear it out. So leave a little just to keep it not to be a negative balance in the payroll fund. So I'll make a determination of how much I'm going to keep in there. The motion there, that's from me. I showed it to them, and they said, that's better than we could have done. And I'm just paraphrasing, okay? So it's that. This is just a moving from here to two other places, and that's water and sewer on a positive note. Does that help, sort of? Okay.
I make a motion to approve transferring $109,998.06 from the payroll fund for years prior to 2025, equally to the water and wastewater utility operating funds, 50-50, for 2025 and beyond, transfer equally 1/3 and 1/3 and 1/3 to the same operating funds plus the general fund.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, the DLZ AMP PER SRF invoice for $400.
Now that Michael has left, we still have a quorum, I'm just saying that. And I was going to say, like this last vote, it's still a unanimous decision, correct?
We probably want to make, I would guess we want to make a note maybe that Michael did leave,
Yeah.
just,
You would note the minutes. We can make a note, we have the minutes, remember that. Council member Dice left on an emergency basis or whatever, I indicate.
Okay.
so then at that point, should it be listed that it's a 4-0 vote just to show where that change was?
Yeah, that's fine, you're able to.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, so DLZ. We have a $400 invoice that I think we've really already kind of approved. Did I hand that? No, it's here. It's on there.
And once again, for councils, I spoke to Cindy earlier. That and the Christmas are under my list.
Oh, here they are.
You know, I could have just paid them, just wanted to keep you, that's all. That and the Christmas gift.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the DLZ AMP PER SRF invoice in the amount of $400. I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Okay, the resolutions 2025-06 and 2025-07, the additional appropriations. They're here, if anybody, Barry had sent those to us earlier.
Anybody want any clarification again? I did give you verbiage when I sent it, but I can re-up if you want.
Might not hurt just to have it on record.
Okay, in 06, okay, I'll start with the aviation and work my way to the top, the 15,000. That's for what was purchased, and I forget what it was that was purchased and not budgeted for, okay? There's plenty of money in aviation, so this just allows us to stay out of the negative on a reporting basis.
Would that be the mowers?
The mowers, that's what it was. Yeah, thank you. And the LRS, that's just the allocation that y'all approved when for the CCMG, and you'll see it on the next one, where I moved money to take care of the town's responsibility, sharing a portion. That's just one of them. And that'll keep this also positive. And it's there's plenty of money. This is not a move. This is not using money. It's just a booking entry. And then the last one is MBH is the same thing. The 07. That's motor vehicle and highway. That was due to the same thing, moving money to take care of the town CCMG portion.
Just in case anybody's checking on this later, I might add that the CCMG, we have word that the company will do that next spring. I had a couple of messages this week with somebody asking if we were still doing that. So, okay, on the additional appropriation, do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve resolutions 2025-06 and 2025-07, additional appropriations.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, wage and salary ordinance. Barry has sent that to us previously. There's a copy of it here if anybody'd like to see it.
The only changes on that from the one that was passed for this year, if you will, are the longevity pay listed by person and that one line item under employee insurance that I developed with the state board. The allocated, the word that starts with allocated.
Have we had any discussion on what we're going to do, whether there is a potential of any raises or anything? No. I mean, we did the budget, but we never really discussed anything.
I don't think we have.
Can I make a motion that we table this until we have a chance to discuss it?
And is that an executive session? Can we do that in an executive session? Or is that
You can talk
public?
about it, but you can't vote for it.
Yeah, we always, and thinking in the past, and I don't know what we did last year, but usually we got together. And, you know, one thing that at the PD office over there. But yeah, we certainly can have another session, but, you know, executive, I believe executive, I have to look at the list. But we didn't have any executive session regarding the finances.
Okay, so you want to make a motion to,
I make a motion that we table the wage and salary ordinance 2025-04.
Also,
we have a motion and a second to table. All in favor? Aye. Okay, then the invoice for the Christmas decor systems.
I make a motion to approve the Christmas decor systems invoice amount of $3,895.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, this one was actually my addition to the agenda. One of the things that we had talked about repeatedly, and part of what really might end up needing to be involved in that executive session, is weekend coverage for the testing at the water plants. I know we can't make an absolute decision if we do it in an executive. It might be able to be done here. One of the things John has asked that we consider allowing overtime payment to the other three on the crew, rather than it be comp time for them to cover some of the weekend at the water plants, because it is right, as it is right now, he's tied down every weekend, and because he has to be there for three trips, John?
A minimum.
To do any of the testing or anything, and particularly with all of the fire department stuff, there's been a lot more this summer. But if we, with the way we have the situation right now, everything is comp time for our guys, which means if they do that, we're losing about 12 hours during the week for them to come in and work. So either we need to come up with some kind of solution of whether we hire, I don't know that hiring for just a weekend thing is an option, or what we do, but we need to think about taking a little of that off of John.
If I could interject, just taking the town, I have no problem with if that's the direction you want to go, but the employee handbook is specific as to how.
That was the first thing that John said to me when I said, okay, then we need to discuss doing something. He said, the handbook says, and I said, well, then we'll need to look at revising the handbook. Is anybody have a better solution? I had actually contacted our HR guy at work and said, could we do like a stipend type thing and pay them a certain amount? And from anything that he looked up in his quick search, that's not something that we can do. It needed to fall into their hourly rate. So.
Right now, excuse me, I get one weekend a month that I don't take most generally, being exempt. And I work 60+ hours a week, checking the planes and through everything else. So then when these guys, take a weekend, why, then it's building up a bunch of comp time for them that they wind up taking and using because, they use it because they don't want to lose it. Not saying that they would lose it, but, there is that fear.
Does anybody have a better suggestion? I think so. I had hoped to reach out to Wage and Salary and ask any possible options they had, but Mary, are you okay if I work on updating the handbook for next month, him going ahead and making the offer to them and?
Just no, but
Okay,
it would have to be voted
Right.
in the meeting, okay, and approved with the.
but if it's not changed in the handbook, and I realize we would have to do that motion anyway to even change it. And we probably need to look at the overall handbook anyway, but are you okay if we make a motion to go ahead and approve that tonight and then make the changes to the handbook, or do you want us to?
Subject to the changes. I cannot do anything.
Okay, so
I would like to, but this is the government.
no, and I get that, and I want to make sure we do it right. So why don't I work on updating the handbook? But we probably need the motion to go ahead and remove that part.
So just say remove the overtime part of it?
Or the comp time and not allowing them overtime. Do you remember how it's worded?
Well, off the top of my head.
That allow overtime, time payment. And I think you and I talked about just for that weekend shift.
Yes, so, in an emergency situation or a snow event, that could fall under the comp time. I don't know how you want to do it.
Okay.
So remove comp time and add overtime?
For the weekend shift coverage.
You're paying comp time,
Right.
which is time and a half, versus a monetary, they're still getting paid for it. basically.
We just think they would be more willing to do it. Plus, it wouldn't put us as lacking for
So
help
you
during the
wanna
week.
Do you want to direct the handbook just for water, or you want it for the whole town?
No, I think you just want it for the coverage on the weekend, right?
How
Isn't it?
specific do you want? That's the,
But yes, that's how deep you want to dive into this,
I mean, they're still going to be called in for snow events and things like that. So do you want to go back to overtime for that?
Because initially, the guys had to use flex time, which, I've lost 5 employees over the last few years that I've not replaced, just trying to, keep a burden off the utilities. But with that said, it's,
so should snow events be overtime too?
it would be comp time.
Comp.
But I think he's saying that would stay comp time.
Okay. So I make a motion upon revising of the handbook to state that John's employees at the weekends at the water plant, the comp time be removed and overtime be allowed?
Subject to the change in the personnel or the employee handbook.
Subject to the change of the personnel in the handbook.
I second the motion.
Okay, I'll work on that handbook change after. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, utility bill schedule. Barry, I think, I've just had several people contact me and ask if we can be more consistent with when the bills are actually read, that we've gone from in the last 3 months, and I realized the 23 days was because of a 40, but then we were back to 35 days this month. And so there are some people that are concerned that they're seeing a lot of inconsistency. I know one of them talked to somebody and they said that the ordinance, and I don't know that I've ever seen this ordinance, that the ordinance says it can't be read on Fridays. Is there a reason they can't be read on
I'm not
Fridays?
familiar with that component of the ordinance. Okay. And the ordinance, just to clarify, a person that was here previously says approximately 30 days. Okay. Approximate is a relevant term. Okay. So, and it's not defined in the ordinance. We're working, I'm not going to go into the details of these changes. I've done that already. But I'm going to give you the next 2 months right here. And we're actively trying to get around the 30 days. There's more than just, as was said, pressing a button and reading stuff. There's a lot of stuff that has to. And you probably don't remember, I vaguely remember that components, the way that the billing system is and has been since day one, there's some inconsistencies there, and I'm working on that. Okay, for example, just real quick, late fee, the information or the letter or the tab that is sent says you have to pay all of delinquent, okay? But the system is set up to pay a portion of it. That's bothered me, but for whatever reason, we didn't pursue it. So, and I'm working with my team to get as close as possible. We work closely with John's, with Austin, you know, on a portion of it. I'm not saying that's anything, but there's more pieces, variables than just pressing a button, all right?
Okay. I just told them I would ask because it's one of those things I don't understand, so.
And one of the things that I may do is publish next year's. We're already working on it, publish it, so there's no question.
Okay.
So each of these months is 28 days, is that right? Am I reading this right?
Yeah,
That's how we agree, okay.
Okay. All right, Nick, we'll come back to you since you're the last item on there and you can do your
That's
whole
the last.
report since, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Apologize for being late. I was helping a guy change a tire. 600 east on the way here. So, Clifford signage update. We had one small light, kind of flicker, and Barry called it and emailed them, and they fixed it pretty quick. All right. So that was yeah. So that was taken care of quick. Missing juvenile. That was a pretty big incident here in town. Cass County Sheriff's Office, several other agencies, both local fire and rescue, joined together. They attempt to locate the missing 14-year-old in the immediate area. That local search was unsuccessful despite several drone operations. We had the Indiana State Police Air 1 included, which was in the sky for about 40 minutes. But she was located by Indianapolis Metro PD in Indianapolis, where one side of her family was attempting to avoid her being brought back to her DCS placement in Galveston. So just again, let this show the dedication that we've got a small community, but something big happens, we're all pull together and get the goal accomplished. Next paragraph, the new Cass County CAD system is launched. It went on 9/16, remember last month. Adjustments are still being made, but it's going pretty well. The Galveston GPD, our mobile computers in our car, we're coming into some insufficient hard drives as far as like running that CAD system. Again, we didn't pay a dime for this CAD system, so if we have to upgrade some things, we'll still be agreeing a lot. So I'm looking at doing one of the computers is being looked at by Jordan Buckley in Howard County. He's going to see if he can get a hard drive in it. And if we can get a hard drive to work, obviously it's going to save us money rather than buying new laptops or cars. So we'll see if that works, and I'll get some pricing and things like that. Completed conference calls with flock camera systems. I emailed info packets to you guys earlier in the week. The startup is right at 14,600.
but they're gonna waive the one-time installation fee if we can sign with them by the end of the month. So it saves us $2,600, that's just the sales pitch, obviously. We've used these systems before, they're already in Cass County, there's a camera catching northbound traffic that the sheriff's department has. And that camera actually helped us identify the suspect in the fraud case at Fast Lane Foods. That was all we had to go off of was the plate that camera picked up. And that's what pretty much broke the whole case open, was we were able to find out that vehicle, make, model, where it was rented, who rented it, and then the investigations took off from there. So that camera saved Fastlane alone for $17,000 damages. We also had another stolen vehicle that we located. There was a stolen vehicle, and we located it in California with flock camera systems. So we actually tracked it all the way across the United States. You can see on these maps that like in that packet where this car was just hitting all the way across the United States from flock cameras. So that's how they caught the Idaho murderer too, the guy that murdered the college kids on campus. They tracked him through flock all the way over to Ohio, I think is where they finally were able to catch up and arrest him. But so this is kind of a it's huge technology. It's been out for a while. I've looked at doing it a couple years back. I heard that Sheriff Schroeder was doing them, so why not let them do all the testing and try them out first? So I think it'd be a huge asset. We're going to do 4 of them, so that we'll put them at specific locations to maximize traffic patterns that we have in town. Mainly it was based at traffic coming into town. So anything coming into town would be picked up on the camera. So if we have amber alerts, the silver alert we had with this missing girl, had we had a plate for a vehicle, we would have been able to catch that car in town and got her probably later that morning rather than waiting a week for everything to get together. So it's a good technology. A lot of small towns are having them. And once we get into the flock safety system, we have access to cameras all across the country. So like our little fraud case at Fastlane, we tracked that guy through multiple states. We're able to call those states and get ahead of him, track him down over however many states. I think it was 5 that we had him in, that he's got warrants through now. So it's a big camera system, but it's pretty easy management. I'm very familiar with it. And then also the part-time guys are very familiar with it, using the Cass County Logan PD. So it should be a pretty easy install and get up and going once we get things going for it. NDOT detour has begun north of Walton. I've noticed a reduced number of semis coming into town. I don't know if anybody else has, but that does help the truck semi. I think this project will last until I think our Galveston is complete. It's supposed to finish up at the same time, is what I heard. But we'll still continue our patrols and the street violations. Continue to issue the state citations so the ordinance is completed and done. And then just for a heads up, that when we write these tickets, a lot of these truck drivers, it's their livelihood, so they tend to exercise their due process. So we go to court a lot. So when we go to court, we have to actually lost a bench trial or anything on it. Every court we've had that's taken court, we've won every single trial. So I think we're like 5 for 5 right now. So as those come into the system, we'll start seeing a lot more of these bench trials going on. So that's pretty good. So if we're
And just for the council's information, I'm turning all those down.
No.
I have been called by a couple of truck drivers, and I'm saying I'm not taking any of those in Galveston for obvious reasons. So
yeah.
FYI.
Thank you.
You're not going to see me drafting the ordinance and then fighting the ordinance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to sign a conflict of interest.
Right, yeah.
Even to talk to him, right?
I turn them all away.
So the tickets we do right, they are being contested. We're having good solid convictions. So and that's all tracked too. Most of them have pleaded or they just pay the required fines and move on. So once the ordinance gets going, like I said, those fees will come back to the town. I did get a number from Greentown. Ran into their old marshal, Skinner, and he said they collected almost $90,000 ordinance fees from the truck drivers when they had kind of the same issue going on. So I thought it was like 50, 60, but apparently 90,000. So
Question, you're speaking of what ordinance not being, what ordinance?
Truck route ordinances that we're adopting.
What's the 2025-02? Brad?
I'm sorry?
The ordinance that was passed 2 months ago, 2025-02, for vehicles?
Yes.
Okay, is that what you're speaking of?
Yeah,
It's already passed.
I thought we were waiting for a signage to put on the local streets.
The ordinance doesn't say anything.
No.
Well,
The ordinance passed.
Well, there are signs up there. There are some, as long as the road says no trucks, like the,
Right.
so some of
the
them,
main roads.
yeah, some of the roads I would say you probably shouldn't be enforcing it off no signage. But the roads that are marked now, you definitely can. And there's been some people that have been, I think, ticketed on the no trucking roads.
Oh, my guys, no.
Okay.
Can I get a copy of that ordinance? Because there's some
Well,
verbiage in that that I want so I can hand you.
I kept it in the window. I'll get you a copy.
It's still hanging, because I saw it last night when we were up there.
I'm gonna make little pamphlets to hand them to them so they can know how to pay and stuff like that. I'll take care of it.
But
And share with your friends.
There doesn't need to be signage. I don't know.
I know we talked last meeting that there were some roads that needed signage still.
Yeah, 'cause we can't, I don't think we can ticket them if they don't know.
Yeah, if it's not posted, obviously. But
Well, the
for-
highway department has posted 950, and
Yeah,
I even put additional signage up
Right.
on their barricade and put signage up at 18 and Maple as well.
so the main roads where they're at, they're already put up. But like my street Griffith, obviously there's not gonna be a semi come through there.
Oh, we did.
There
have-
was.
Yeah, there are some.
There was.
Yeah.
You're about
He
3
backed
yards in the
also
sign, I
all the
think.
way out to 35.
Did
He did.
So, but the roads that are affected dealing, signs are up. So, you can start collecting ordinances.
Okay.
So circle back to the flock. I'd like to get a vote on that if we could. Funding is in Lloyd, I think the last number Barry gave me is right around $100,000, something like that.
Yeah, we'll still have to do an additional appropriation because on the expense side, major purchases is like $6,000 or something. So
Okay.
that'll come after the fact. Again, that's not the money side, that's just the clarification for the government.
Then there'll be a legal document, Brad will review, obviously, when they're signing something, that'll be legal to it, so as soon as I get that, I can forward it to Brad. Legal, there's a legal document that comes with this, and
Do you have something more than the photograph?
this is all they sent me so far until we move forward with it, so, I wanted to present it tonight and see if we can move forward with it. And if there's any questions to ask. Frequently asked legal questions, that's all the legal they provided me so far, but there is a signature portion where we'll have to sign for a 5-year contract, but it's an annual contract. To maintain them every single year moving forward.
What's the annual part of it?
The annual part would be, depending, we're up 4 cameras at, I believe, $2,000 a piece for the annual maintenance fees for the cameras. So it'd be roughly $8,000 a year moving forward.
Okay, no, I didn't see that, okay.
Yeah, so actually, if we do all 4, it'd be 12,000.
So, yeah.
And down here, contract terms, the initial contract is 36 months, and then it goes to every year.
What's this maintenance include? It's like a warranty or what's it?
Yes, it covers all the damages to the camera from storm, somebody hits it, they come out, they repair it. If the camera needs to be moved for any reason, say they expand the highway and that camera needs moved, it includes cost and fees of that. And also gives us access to a national database that constantly updates all that data we get access to. So it's like you're joining almost like a membership to get access to those things.
So the first year flock cost is that 14 grand?
14,600 if we can,
But the 2,600 fees waived, right?
yeah, if we can get it completed by end of October. Of course, that's their hurry up and buy pitch, obviously. But it was still negotiated, I still had to, ask at least, and that's what they gave me.
So the 12,000 is what needs to be approved here? With this
Correct.
block safety pricing proposal?
Correct, that would be the number to move forward with. We just get a, I don't know, a vote or a nod to move forward with it, or if I'm wasting my time, I can get the legal documents and get them to Brad and move forward with it.
Okay, well, I make a motion that we approve the flock safety pricing proposal here in the amount of $12,000.
I'll second.
I have a motion, a second, any discussion? I guess my question, you said you would get the legal stuff to Brad.
Correct.
What happens at the point that Brad says that I have concerns here, if we've already made the motion to go ahead with it?
TJ said that they had no contested jurisdiction agency have an issue with their legal, so we would be who asked that question, what if we have that issue where it doesn't match up? And TJ assured me that nobody has had any issues with their contracts across the nation. So I felt pretty confident with that statement that it should be pretty cut and dry. But they don't want to go ahead and draw it up if they're not even producing from it, I guess, so.
So should we amend the motion that that's with Brad's approval of?
Yes, because I just want to look at the contract myself as well. Even though their success rate's 100%, I still want to look at it, so. But, yeah.
As we stated, based upon.
I make a motion to approve the flock safety pricing proposal in the amount of $12,000 with
Based upon
based upon the contract information that our attorney Brad would have to oversee.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, no old business.
I have a
Okay.
question for me. How are you on the body cams? Are we still going forward with that, or what's the?
Yeah, we have equipment that we're demoing, should be coming probably first of the month through Lens Law. I think I talked about it last meeting. Where those, they're not, everybody uses Axon, it's like the top of the line that most agencies use, but this Lens Lock is new, they're trying to get their start, so.
Is it cheaper?
It's gonna be cheaper, yeah. Could it be one of those things you get what you pay for? I don't know. They're gonna give us a 30-day beta testing with it to use their software, use the camera. We'll have, I think, 3 of them, so we'll put them on the guys and let them use them for 30 days. And put them
So it's coming soon.
Yeah, put them through the paces, yeah. But we had to wait till this CAD system got up and going so that we would have enough of the cloud storage that we don't have to pay the extra huge Axon fee. So as all these new CAD systems come out, it's absorbing all that Axon storage that you have to pay several thousands of dollars each year. So we're not going to pay that with this new CAD system. We've got enough storage, video storage in it. So, yes, hopefully we have enough to go on something. I'd like to by the end of the year. So,
I think it protects all parties involved.
I love it. I love it. I don't think I can go back to policing without them. We just end up relying on it so much that it's great.
Who involved uses an accent?
Yeah, Axon, they got an Axon 4 coming out, and with the way our community is changing with integration and things, it'll interpret for you live. So if someone speaks, you know, Spanish or, you know, Creole, you can select that language on that body cam, and it'll take your voice and translate it to them, and it'll translate it back to you like live. So that's the benefit of Axon. Obviously, they're leading, paving the way, and that's the ones we're getting ready to go to the sheriff's department, the Axon 4s. Right now, we got the 3s, and we're going to go to 4s with that interpretation software built into it. So talk about making your job easier. Man, I just changed the tire with a guy who couldn't even speak. He spoke Creole. I couldn't speak, but we worked together and changed his tire. So before he just hit that body cam and translate everything, he was having a normal conversation. So lots of selling points, stuff like that.
Okay, any other questions, comments? Okay. I think.
Oh, I have that, sorry.
Yep.
Do you need any, like, candy stuff for the parade? What's the?
Yes, the parade. I have that now. Future business. I'm going to share tonight the poster for Halloween parade. Got any candy donations? Usually I just buy some out of my pocket.
Just bring them to the.
Yep, just bring them to town hall, and I'll do a little post and bring donated candy if they want, but I'll get my post up tonight. But I saw the flyer, so that works great for me, so. I'll make it
I
work.
created a flyer today for trick or treat.
Yeah,
I saw
I
that.
just saw it like yesterday.
A week of break, you know, so.
And it's about time we usually get a post on the first week or two, and then
Yeah.
gives people a couple weeks heads up.
I don't want no questions.
Okay, anybody
Send me
else?
after me.
Okay, I think we're ready to adjourn.
I make motion we adjourn.
I second the motion. Okay, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?